So Ella Piccolo, I actually do not actually have this unit, but we still got to do these team builds and we're still going to break it down. So I'm gonna have this one empty slot here so you guys can know that this symbolizes Ella Piccolo. So you guys got to just use your imagination a little bit here. So let's look for the red regen unit. For red regen units to make your team build for the boy Ella Piccolo, you definitely want to choose either between Omega Shenron or you want to choose between this Resurrection Cell. I would say Cell's a little bit better. Cell is definitely better. He's definitely better. He has way more utility, and just having having an extra life, that extra life bar in your back pocket, it's just it can be used in so many ways to just maneuver around your opponent. It's just really effective, and he's insane once he transforms. He just go once he transforms, it's over at that point. But yeah, definitely between him, you can still run Omega Shenron. Omega Shenron is good. I would say his damage is crazy good, but it can be a little bouncy because you do have to know to pay attention to how many Dragon Balls you got and stuff like that to really maximize his damage. But outside of that, he's still good. He has his green card for the lock-in and stuff like that, and it's a knockback green card. Our third last option that you could use as a sub option if you just happen not to have any of these guys and you just for some reason just happen to have this guy Zenkai, you can use this guy. But like I said, you want this guy Zenkai, at least Zenkai 6. Yeah, you really want this guy Zenkai if you want to use him because he's not good without it. And those are the red options that you want to run for regen. You could use Kid Buu as a bench. He has a good Z ability, really good Z ability. What is it? It's a blast and yeah, it's strike attack and blast attack, 26%. So that's really solid. You can run this guy. He's solid. He's still pretty solid. His green card is still pretty good to this day. You can still run him on regen to this day. This guy is solid. So those are the red options for regen. Let's take a look at the yellow options. I don't know why Fusion Monsters are right there. So, well, your main yellow option. What am I talking about? I took a look at the purple option. So here are the purple options really here. There aren't really many you can run. I mean, nah, Nail's outdated. He's outdated. You can't run him. So it'll mostly between Fusamasu and Android 21. So I will go more towards probably. This is tough. I think this is one that's going to come down to preference because Fusamasu has the cover rescue. He does a lot of some solid blast damage late game. And his ultimate does crazy damage late game as well. He's better in late game situations. But Android 21, she has the key recovery on every card that she uses, right? And they increase our draw speed. This is I'll say that you can run either one of these. It really honestly comes down to preference of which unit you like more. I like Android 21 a little bit more because I'm more of a person of strike units, but you could definitely choose between either one of these, honestly, when it comes down to which one you want to run on a regen squad, in my personal opinion. So there's that. So those are the really only purple options that you have for regen. There's no other purple options. Now here we get to the green options. So when it comes to green options, there's really oh, I did not know. I forgot this guy was considered regen. Wow, that's crazy. He's garbage anyway. But so for green options, honestly, it's either Zenkai Buu or don't go, or just don't go at all, because Buhan is outdated at this point. He has these cancelable upgrades and stuff like that. That's easy to be canceled. All of them can be canceled, at a certain timer count. It runs out. It's just not really all that good. He's not that good anymore. His green card is still pretty solid. The barrier green card is always going to be good. That's really it. I mean, you can try and run this green cell if you're really down to your last, but he's only really good for his Z ability. He himself is kind of a mid unit. He's not really all that good. So honestly, yeah, they're lacking heavily in the green department for regen. If you don't have this guy Zenkai 6, then you don't really have a top tier green to bring into the match, in my personal opinion. Don't get me twisted. You can still make something work with some of these older green units, but it's definitely not like the best optimal team build, and that's what we're trying to get here. So for blue units, you want to choose between Blue Tanks or most likely Super Baby 2. It really depends on you. Super Baby 2 is still going to be better for the support aspect, but his damage is pure garbage. Blue Tanks, his damage is only slightly a little bit better than Super Baby 2 is, to be honest. Like, he will have his moments where he definitely be able to do some really solid damage, but it's real bumpy and inconsistent. So I'll definitely say it comes down to you. My personal opinion, Super Baby 2 is still good for that health restoration, but the only thing is that there's a lot of units in the game that have anti-health restoration just built into their kit. That's the reason why Regen kind of fell off as a team, because that was their biggest no aspect, no their big niche to them that kind of made them so tough to deal with, just the constant healing. But honestly, it comes down to you. If you want to go slightly a little bit more damage, choose between Blue Tanks. If you want to go between no more support, and then definitely choose Super Baby 2, and then there's that. So you can also run her as a bench unit. This Android 21, she's a solid support unit. I don't think you should bring her in the match though. She would get clapped. They need to bring her event back so we can 14 star. This guy's also a semi decent option, but he doesn't actually buff Regen, so just keep that in mind. So there's that. So that's pretty much all there is when it comes to Regen as far as the team building and what you will want to do. This is pretty much the optimal team build that you want to go for, and this is really the only team that you can really run this guy on, in my personal opinion. So there's that. So this is, let me just finish this team setup here. Then you guys can imagine that LF Piccolo will be right here in one of these blank spots, and then you can choose another bench unit if you want to. So yeah, Regen is definitely lacking in some areas. They're going to need some massive improvements. LF Piccolo definitely will not be enough with his Zenkai, in my personal opinion, to just bring this team back on the map. So there's that. I mean, if you don't have LF Piccolo for yellow options, you could just run Demon King Piccolo if you have him Zenkai. You're going to be hearing that a lot, especially going down in the future, because they're lacking in the yellow department too. Yeah, Regen needs some help. I guess quickly we could talk about his other team, which is the Saiyan Saga team. This team is not really that good, honestly. It's pretty garbage. It's cheeks, bro. I'm not even going to gas it. This team is cheeks, but I guess I'll talk about it because this is legit his only other team that you can even run him on, right? So this is the same. This is not the Saiyan Saga team, but these are all the characters that fall under the Saiyan Saga tag. So there's a solid amount, but there's only 3 people that actually buff the tag, which is this Fiku this Fiku right here, the Raditz, Fiku and Raditz, and Ella Piccolo himself. So you can run a semi Saiyan build / Saiyan Saga build, but if you do that, LF Piccolo won't be getting that many buffs, so it won't really be classified as one of his best teams. I just wanted to talk about the team because I don't know. They don't really give the Saiyan, the Saga units, the Saga teams too many support. I know they started with like the Frieza Saga and stuff, and then they kind of just fell off with that. We don't have any Majin Buu or any Cell Saga buffers anyway too. I hope we can get that one day, because it'll be dope to run a team like that. But pretty much that is it. That is the best teams for LF Piccolo. Pretty much Regen is the only way you want to go. So that's why it sucks, because Regen is not in a good state right now, and I definitely don't think that this guy is going to magically just make them become top tier, especially since he's already such a rare unit. This guy's only come back twice since he's been released, and then he's about to be going on a year old. He's come back less times than Blue Vegito, so I don't know, man. I feel like he's going to become like kind of just swept out of the meta like super quickly and forgotten about, just like how when he first was released, because nobody, it's just that LF that nobody really cares about, because the way they released him and the fact that they decided to make him one of the rarest LFs ever. I don't know. This is definitely a weird one. I don't know. It is what it is. It's your boy Kai last guy from my content. Sometimes you gotta think about this. Sometimes you gotta think about LF Piccolo, how hype you guys are for his team builds, know how hype you are for the future of Regen and stuff like that, yada yada yada. Like Sky from my content, and yeah, man.